Hello, I am Red Mage, and welcome to a Magic the Gathering video featuring the color red. In today's video, Boros Aggro and Lost Caverns of Ixalan Standard. There are a lot of different ways to build a Boros Aggro deck. There are human-focused decks, legendary-focused decks, and lots of variation in individual card choices. But they are all centered around going wide with Imodane's Recruiter, a 3-mana 2/2 that gives creatures you control +1/+0 and haste when it enters the battlefield. It also can make 2 2/2s for 5 mana on the adventure side, which comes up but not super often. Resolute Reinforcements provides 2 1/1s for 2 mana. Sanguine Evangelist both makes an extra body as well as giving other creatures +1/+0 when it attacks. Yotian Frontliner and Warden of the Inner Sky are good aggressive 1-drops. Voldaren Epicure and Charming Scoundrel both make artifacts which, in addition to providing card selection, ramp, or extra damage, feed the Warden's ability and make Regal Bunnicorn bigger. Knight-Errant of Eos is both a large creature and a source of card advantage. Witchstalker Frenzy can remove pesky creatures on the other side of the board, easily castable for 1 mana most of the time in this deck. And finally, Raging Battlemouse enables huge turns where, for example, we cast Resolute Reinforcements into Imodane's Recruiter for a big attack out of nowhere. So what is the advantage of playing this deck over mono red aggro? Well, there are trade-offs. This deck is less consistent and can have mana issues. The mana base is awkward since Boros doesn't have a fast land in Standard. But it has larger creatures, which makes it better at blocking and attacking into a Shieldred, for example. And most importantly, it can go way over the top and break through board stalls to win games that mono red never could. I wouldn't say that this deck is better than mono red, but if you like a go-wide style of aggro deck, want to get crazy wins out of nowhere, or just want to mix it up with a different, powerfully aggressive strategy, then this might be a good deck for you. I hope you enjoy the gameplay, and we'll be back at the end to wrap up. Well, we're definitely keeping this. Unfortunately, we've got to play a tap land on turn 1. But we can, on turn 2... reinforcements into turn 3 Battlemouse plus Bunnicorn. Oh, what do we have here? Blue-green artifact, something. Not super confident about this. I guess it kind of just depends on what kind of insanity they have. Oh, didn't even attack with the Siren. I guess we do this. Maybe they're just going to chump the Bunnicorn with the Siren. I guess we want to encourage them to not block, and so we'll just attack and then cast the reinforcements afterwards. They are going to block, okay. In that case, what I think we do is cast the Frontliner as our second spell, and then we'll cast the reinforcements on their turn. You could argue that it's dangerous to let the Sentinel attack, but I mean, we would have to give up 3 different creatures. Now 4 different creatures, including the, well, no, because we can cast this. Well, let's see what happens. Is it worth it? I don't know that it is. I mean, eventually they're going to run out of stuff to chump with. Alright. No blocks. Got the boat, okay. Not too worried about that. Well, alright. They don't like it too much either. I mean, there's no way they have a Wrath, so we were probably fine to just unload as we see fit. I'm going to hold back the Epicure. I'm not really sure that attacking with the Bunnicorn is good because it allows them to attack with the Sentinel. But it's not going to take long for them to run out of stuff to chump with, I would think. All right. Surge Engine's not good. For us, that is. Since our life total is low, they can make it unblockable. I'm surprised they're thinking about it. It's actually the perfect thing for them. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Now they can't attack. If we attack with everything next turn, they have to chump both of the Bunnicorns. They can activate that food. How does that change things? Alright, so they chump with the food. They chump with the tough cookie. They block both the mice. Yeah, I guess we just do the Bunnicorns and attack with both of those. Oh. They didn't activate, so they're going to activate the Surge Engine. Or they're going to do that, okay. I mean, we're dead in 2 turns from the Surge Engine, but not if they don't have anything to block. They need 2 blockers to survive. All right. We should have it wrapped up then. Ooh. Feels good to get there. Certainly keeping this hand. This is the cost of playing Sundown Pass. Okay, well, we're certainly going to play the pass so that we can Battle Mouse and Frontliner for free. Next turn we can Epicure plus second Battle Mouse. Or Battle Mouse plus Frontliner. But I think we want to save that just because it's something we can cast for 0 mana. Are we willing to trade this Battle Mouse? I think so. I don't think they're going to block. If I knew for sure they were going to block, I'm not sure I would attack. But I think it's worth it to try to sneak it through. Well, okay. I mean, what this does is that they, you know, don't have it for the future to be gaining life with. So I think this is Epicure plus Knight-Errant. This is not going to be easy, but I think we have a chance. I definitely now wish that I did not attack with that mouse.
Those who get in my way tend to regret it.
It's tempting to sacrifice the Frontliner because we can get it from the graveyard. But in the absence of that, being able to pump something else is a big deal. Really? So we can trade both for Sheoldred or just eat the underdog. That is very interesting. I definitely don't want to do this, but if we were at a somewhat higher life total, it would be a different story. Alright, so we definitely want Evangelist plus Frontliner here. And then the turn after we can either Charming Scoundrel, make a treasure, or if we draw a land, Resolute Reinforcements, and then Recruiter. Alright, so I guess it makes sense to want to definitely get the Liliana to the point where we're willing to sacrifice the Frontliner. So now they can just eat it as opposed to allowing them to trade with the mouse. We just really need the mouse to develop our game plan here. Okay. Okay. So, can we win next turn is the question. We don't have lethal. Yikes. I blocked with the wrong creature. I should have blocked with the bat. Is that going to make the difference? Let's see. Now that we have land, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I forgot to count the Evangelist. I mean, either way, I'm doing this. Three, 6, 10. Oh. I'm not counting 3, 6, 10, 16, but then the Evangelist. Okay. Whew. My apologies to my opponent for slow rolling them. If this hand had one more land, literally any other card replaced with the land, it would be quite good. This will certainly do. I have no idea what to put back, however. Is it the mouse? I guess so. I'm not at all certain about that, but basic island, huh? Okay. So this is either mono blue or blue white tempo. Or Sultai Reanimator. Okay, blue-white tempo. So this is the Monastery Mentor deck. If they have a counter spell, I really want to double spell, although I guess I can't double spell if they have a counter spell. Alright, well, we'll start with this. Casting it now because it makes the Bunnicorn bigger. Alright, that's a good start. Presumably they're gonna... Okay, yeah. Either that or Otherworldly Gaze. Chart of Course is fine. I would be very happy if they cast Chart of Course. Ledger Shredder, huh? Alright. It is kind of shocking to have Monastery Mentor in Standard, and it doesn't really see play anywhere except this one specific deck. Alright, well, we know what we're going to do here. I suppose I could play Eiganjo and draw a card with the Scoundrel. Is that better than, say, putting a Wicked Roll on the bat? We might want the Eiganjo for the future. Yeah. All right. Looking good. Indeed. Well, this is about as unkeepable as it could possibly get. This is very keepable. I would want to put back a Frontliner. The only thing is that we can turn to Mouse plus a free Frontliner. So I guess I'll put back a Scoundrel. So we'll see what this is, if it's Esper Control and they have an... Oh, is this Ramp? Yavimaya Coast? Could be Ramp. Do we just unload our hand here? Kind of have to, right? Okay. Well, if they don't have a Wrath, we're in pretty decent shape. Yeah, it's really hard to say. If they have a Sunfall next turn, we're going to regret completely unloading. So I guess we just do it this way. Try to get some value. Okay, we definitely want that. Okay, Wandering Emperor. That makes it less likely they're going to have a Wrath next turn.
I am almost sad to see you go.
I think I'll go ahead and play the Warden now. If they had a Sunfall, they could have just made a token to chump block. Well, looks like they do. Well, that's really unfortunate. Yep.
Let your blade do the talking.
I guess we can do it this way. This way we get an attack through. Okay. They might just have another Sunfall, I guess. But if they don't, we hope to draw something and we can double spell. Okay. Let's see. I mean, there's a good chance they just have another Wandering Emperor. Yeah, this isn't good. 5 is probably not close enough to be able to overcome, but we'll see. Did they have a counterspell they were thinking about using there? Everything we do carries a lot of risk here. We definitely cannot kill them this turn, even if they have nothing. If we play the Bunnicorn, we definitely lose to a Wrath. But I think we've got to, and just hope that they don't have a Wrath, and then next turn hopefully we can do an all-out attack. If they counter this, we might consider attacking. Okay. I mean, we can get in 4 damage. That's got to be worth it. Why would they not block the recruiter? That's weird. I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? Either they have something or they don't. Okay. That will likely be enough.
You're just underwhelming. This is what you get for hurting my people.
Phyrexian's plans are already in motion. You can be made to obey.
Yeah, if they didn't have Emperor, we would win with the Epicure. Dang. So do we play it now or do we hold it back? I guess we play it now. If we draw another Charming Scoundrel, we want to be able to draw a card with it and have mana to do whatever.
Strike fast and strike hard.
Become subdued.
Wow. Alright, well, we gotta wait another turn. Now Wandering Emperor can make a token, though. That's really unfortunate.
Our plans are beyond your comprehension.
Remember your training.
I mean, again, I think we've just got to play the mouse and do nothing. Okay. We'll see if they jace the Bunnicorn or the Recruiter. If they jace the Bunnicorn, it actually gives us an opportunity to break through, potentially.
Let your blade do the talking.
Yeah, they're doing the right thing. Because they can block the Bunnicorn, even if they have to chump it, to reduce the total number of creatures that can deal damage. Okay. Well, they're definitely not going to kill us this next turn, at least with damage. They could potentially mill us. But assuming they don't cash in, yeah.
Show them how we greet our enemies.
As it stands, if they have nothing, we will win. But I am skeptical. We could attack now. If they have nothing, we win. But if they have a single removal spell, we lose. Yeah, I think we've got to play the Evangelist. If they counter it... Okay. I mean, I suppose we could attack with the Bunnicorn. I mean, then they could chump it and then exile it with the Wandering Emperor. That doesn't seem ideal. Yeah. We'll wait. I mean, this just plays into a Wrath so hard, but we have to assume they don't have it. The good thing about this is we can eat whatever they attack with. So they can't attack with their own creature and then exile it with the Wandering Emperor. I mean, making another token is bad enough, but Well, they certainly don't have a Wrath if they're making the token first. Okay. They're not winning with mill this turn. I mean, if they have even a Wandering Emperor, I think they win. 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attackers. If they have a Wandering Emperor, and that's the only thing they have, we have Xaxes. So I think we give it a shot. We'll leave back the Recruiter since it doesn't have power anyway. And then we can decide to cast the Knight-Errant with it if we choose to. Okay, that's an interesting time to do that. You'd think they would target the Evangelist before attacks if they're going to do it that way. If they don't have an Emperor, they need 2 more removal spells. Wow. That's... wow. And we're back to wrap up. What I like about this deck is that it has a lot of inevitability. As long as your opponents aren't playing sweepers, you can build up your battlefield and eventually overwhelm them all in one shot. What I don't like about the deck is the mana base. I think if we had Inspiring Vantage in Standard right now, the mana base would be consistent enough that it would drastically smooth out the variance. As it is, the variance is pretty high. There are games where you just are never going to lose. There's nothing your opponent can do that realistically is going to win them the game. And there are lots of other games where you just feel like you never had a shot. If you don't mind that variance, this deck does incredible things and can make up for its lack of mana consistency by its sheer power level. Especially if you've been playing mono red or mono white and it's getting old or you're finding it boring, this is definitely a good way to mix it up. I don't think that playing Boros necessarily is going to increase your win rate over playing mono red or mono white, but it really is so much fun when it goes off. If you decide to give this deck a try, or you've been playing Boros already, let me know in the comments what card choices you went with and how that worked for you, and I'll see you in the next one.